Hi, how are you? Matt Watson here from carwow. So I'm sitting in a BMW X3 and next to me is an Audi Q5 and next to that is a Volvo XC60 and we're going to have an uphill drag race off-road. Because yes, this video is all about off-road challenges to see which of these three cars, which most people use for the school run, is actually best off-road. Because they are SUVs after all, with all-wheel drive. So the way this is going to work, we're going to compete in 6 different challenges and we'll be marking the cars depending on how well they perform in each challenge. The one that comes first in each challenge gets 3 points, the one that comes second, 2 points, and the one that comes last, just 1 point for each challenge. Then I'll top up the scores afterwards and see which one is the best off-roader overall. Now we've got our lovely assistant, Darren, up there helping us out with this. He'll be starting this race and he'll be judging the cars on different obstacles. So he'll be scoring them and saying which he thinks is best in each challenge. So let me tell you about this BMW. It is the BMW X3 30e, which means it's the hybrid. Got a 2-litre petrol engine boosted by an electric motor and combined you have 292 horsepower and 440 newton meters of torque. Because it's got batteries and an electric motor, it's a bit heavy. Just comes in under 2 tons. This BMW costs £49,000. As for the Audi, it's got a 2-litre turbocharged petrol engine with 265 horsepower and 370 newton meters of torque. You've got Quattro all-wheel drive, a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic gearbox. It weighs in at just under 1,900 kilos and it'll cost you just under £43,000. Finally then we come to the Volvo, the XC60. It has a turbocharged 2-litre diesel engine with 197 horsepower and 420 newton meters of torque. That drives all 4 wheels via an 8-speed automatic gearbox, just normal automatic gearbox, and it has a Haldex all-wheel drive system, so not as sophisticated as the Quattro in the Audi nor the BMW X-Drive system in this car. In terms of the weight, under 1,900 kilos, and it'll cost you just under £43,000, similar to the Audi then. Now what I'm going to do is flash up on the screen the stats of the cars. If you press pause, you can then compare everything in your own time. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Right. Let's move on with the race. Now before we do, please make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon to turn your notifications on. That way you won't miss a single upload. Also, why don't you follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes footage and stuff like that. Matt Watson Cars, go check it out. Let's get on with this off-road challenge, starting with this race. Let's do this. I think I might have an advantage because the electric motor will give me extra bit of boost off the line to get me up this hill, hopefully ahead of the other two. Let's do this. Come on. X-Drive. Oh, I've got to back off it. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, that was so close. I think this is just about one. I got a great start because that electric boost just flinged me off the line. And X-Drive did a good job of providing traction, but I had to back off towards the end because of this huge rock, which I felt it bounce over. Anyway, we need to check with Darren who won. Darren! So, Darren, what was the result?
Right, so the BMW came first.
Yes.
Audi came second.
Okay.
And a close third for the Volvo.
So it's 3 points for the BMW, 2 for the Audi and 1 for the Volvo. Let's go on to the next challenge. The next challenge is all about manoeuvrability and agility. So we're going to drive the cars on this U-shaped course and we're going to time them, see which one can do it in the quickest time. At the far end, there's a hairpin turn which is quite tight, so you'll see just what the turning circle is like on these cars. Now I'm going to set the Volvo off first and Darren is going to time it. So then Darren, when you're ready.
3, 2, 1.
Decent start there from the Volvo. He's not holding back, he's smashing it over the bumps. This is really funny to watch. Right, he's coming to the tight turn now. Yeah, he did it in one, no problem at all. Oh, that's tricky there. There's a divot that the car has to like power through, and he did a really good job. In fact, he's not holding back and it doesn't look like he bottled out at all. Although it did look like the car almost bottomed out. But let's find out from Darren. What was the time on that, Darren?
1987.
1987, the year of my birth. I wish. Anyway, that's good.
It's not bad.
So let's see what the Audi can do. So let's get the Audi into position.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, oof. That was a quick start as well. He seems quite competitive, the guy in the Audi. He's absolutely flown up there. They're all making it around the top pretty nice and easily. This is the tip. Oh, I heard it. I heard that bottom. That did just grind out a bit. I can see the mark on the the front bumper. What was that?
19.96.
Oh, just a little bit behind.
It's all down to you.
It's all down to me? Oh no, I'm a little bit frightened of this. Come on BMW. The Volvo has a turning circle of 11.8 metres. The Audi 11.7. This is 12, so it's got the worst turning circle and it's the heaviest because of the batteries. Right, here we go.
3, 2, 1.
Decent start. Oh, ow. That was really bad. You can feel the weight of the batteries. You really can. It's struggling more than the others, but it's close. Oh, got a big bang. So went over a bump.
19.25.
Did I win?
You won.
I won! I might just sacrifice the car, but it did win. We might need to check underneath it.
Might do, yes. Little bits hanging off.
Is there?
No.
Oh, thank God. Anyway, that means the BMW gets 3 points, the Volvo 2 points, and the Audi 1 point. So far then, the BMW is in the lead on 6 points, and both the Volvo and Audi have 3 points. What we're going to do now is see how well these cars can control you down a steep slope. They've all got hill descent control, which nibbles at the car's brakes to slow their descent. And what we're going to do is have a reverse race. Not going backwards, it's reverse because the last car wins. So the last car past the cone wins the challenge because it's all about being the slowest down the slope. Now the Volvo doesn't have a hill descent control system you can alter the speed on, it's just decided by Volvo. Not sure what that speed is. With both the Audi and the BMW you can change their speed. With the Audi you do it by holding it on the brake at the speed you want and then it should just take over. With the BMW you use the cruise control system. So we'll find out what is the slowest they can go right now.
3, 2, 1.
Off the brake. If I set it slow, there we go. It's holding it at 2 miles an hour. The BMW is level with me. The Volvo is sort of racing ahead. Between me and the BMW, which one, the BMW and this is going to pass that cone first? This is doing really well. Look, I mean, look at this. I literally can just do this. Look, I can do this. I can win this by doing this. Yes, Audi wins. Crawl down there at 2 miles an hour. He went as low as 1 mile an hour at one point. That is impressive. So 3 points for the Audi, 2 for the BMW and 1 for the Volvo. And that means the scores on the door so far, the BMW has 8 points overall, this Audi has 6 points and the Volvo 4 points. For this next test, we're going to compare the car's suspension travel, their ground clearance and their chassis articulation, because we're going to drive them down this slope and it's got little steps in it, so they've got to walk down the steps. And then we're going to come up a steeper, more aggressive slope with bigger steps, and we'll see how they do. Darren will mark them depending on their performance over this course. Let's do it. So I'm just watching the BMW go down now. It's slipping already. Obviously these cars were on their road tyres, which are very much road tyres and not off-road tyres. Oh, we're not doing too badly down here. BMW got down fine, Volvo got down fine. This is beeping because of the parking sensors. Shut up, parking sensors, let's turn you off because you're just going to do my head in. Oh, the traction control system's doing a lot of this, and the hill descent control, because I've got the car in off-road mode. It's all pretty easy. Quite happy about this. Yeah, they all did well. No problem at all there. Now this is going to be harder though. We've got to get up the hill. So ground clearance might be an issue here. The BMW has the least ground clearance, 204 millimeters. Oh, it almost bottomed out there. Then the Audi with 208 millimeters, and the Volvo has the most, 216 millimeters. They're going to get to a stage where both wheels will be in the air, and what can happen with 4x4s is if you have diagonal wheels in the air, then they just end up spinning while they power through the diffs. But they might be able to manage it with their traction control systems braking the spinning wheels to send power back to the wheels that are on the floor with grip. Come on BMW, look at it struggle over that. The BMW has another disadvantage, and that's its weight. It's heavier and weight matters when you're doing these kind of obstacles. Let's see how the Volvo does. Obviously all these cars have independent suspension, which does help. Come on Volvo. Look at that, it's so funny. Whoa! This is more extreme than they're ever likely to do in their lives. So it's good to know that if you want to do a bit of off-roading in these cars, they actually can do it. Quite impressed there with the Volvo. Come on Audi, Quattro power. This is pretty easy. Just got to keep the power on now to get up here so we don't slip. Look at that. Right then, let's find out what Darren thinks. So Darren.
The Audi was number 1.
Yes!
The BMW was second.
Okay.
And the Volvo just had to work that little bit too hard with the throttle to get the traction to come up the hill.
So why was this better?
Continuation up the hill was non-stop. The two cars' traction control was trying to work too hard to gain the traction to get onto the ground, where the Audi was a constant momentum all the way up.
Was that my skillful driving, or was it just the Quattro all-wheel drive system?
We'll add it to both of them.
There we go. So that means then that the Audi gets 3 points, the BMW gets 2 points, and the Volvo 1 point. And that means the overall scores are 5 points for the Volvo, we've got 9 points for the Audi, and in the lead is the BMW with 10 points. Now we're going to compare how much these cars' suspension compresses and their chassis twist when you take them down a steep slope, drive them on their side and get 2 wheels in the air. Now what will happen is that when the wheels are in the air, we're going to open and shut the doors to just see if there's any snagging of the doors. If there is, that shows that the chassis is twisted slightly, which isn't a good thing. Also, as they're heading down, there's some bumps and they'll sit down on their suspension, and you don't want their wheels going too far up into their wheel wells. That's not good. Darren will be watching out for that, and he'll mark the cars accordingly. Let's do it. So what's going to happen is, as that Audi gets so far down and it's got its wheel in the air, he's going to open and shut the door. The reason we're doing this is that if you take an old Land Rover Defender down this obstacle here and you get 2 wheels in the air and then you try and open and shut the doors, they just won't open. The chassis flexes that much. And everyone goes, oh yeah, the old Defender, one of the best off-roaders ever. These are basically shopping cars, aren't they? That's what people buy them for, school run shopping. And yet, they don't flex in the same way that an old Defender does. Part of the reason is that unlike the Defender, which has a ladder frame chassis, this and the other 2 cars here have monocoques. So the whole body is providing rigidity. They look like they're opening fine. Here we go. Come on, Volvo. He's making a sign that I don't know really what I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Slowly. It's like a tweeting bird. Right, let's try and open the door. I mean, look at that. Just a little bit sticky. Just ever so slightly. I can feel it ever so slightly just there, just sticking a touch. But you can still open it. Right, let's go for it. Here we go. Whoa. Oh. Right, this is fun. It's braking itself. It's got the hill descent control doing its thing. Oh, the parking sensors don't like this. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. This is not bad, really. Ah. Oh. And gently down. Oh, 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 bottomed out a bit there. Sorry, Volvo, hope your car's all right. Okay, let me just check in with the other guys. So Audi, did you notice your door slightly sticky? Mine was when I opened it, ever so slightly. You could notice it just flexed a bit. How about you?
No such troubles here, I'm afraid. Just pulled the handle, swung open, free as a breeze. It was great.
Let me just double check it. Actually, it's the hinge. It's no different down here. And you take it back, the door feels the same to open down here. It's just like the seal just grabs ever so slightly, that's all. I got the BMW, I'm imagining it's fine as well, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely no issues at all opening the door. All good.
Right, let's find out what Darren thought. Darren, me old mate! Hello. So, what did you think?
I've got to put the Audi and the Volvo equal.
Equal first?
Yeah, the highest wheel off the ground, more stability going through the section, and a lot more control on the ground.
Really?
BMW was slipped a lot more than the other 2.
Alright, so what I'm going to do is give 3 points to the Audi and the Volvo and 1 point to the BMW. So that means the Volvo has 8 points, the BMW is now in second place with 11 points, and the Audi is leading on 12 points. Now we come to the final challenge, and it consists of 3 obstacles, and the first one is a hill which tests the car's approach angles, and the next one is a descent which tests their departure angles, and the final one is a breakover to test their breakover angles. The Volvo's out of this. It can't win. It can save face by coming first, But really, this is a competition between the BMW and the Audi because there's just 1 point between them. So we're going to find out which of those two is the best off-road. Let's do it. So we come into the first obstacle now, and the Audi shouldn't bottom out. It's got an approach angle of 25 degrees, which is all right. The BMW's is 26 degrees. This Volvo's is 23 degrees. The Audi seemed to make it over there, no problem at all. BMW, oh, it's struggling for traction. Slip back a bit. Oh dear, look at that. Spinning its wheels a bit. So this Volvo does. Give it a bit of momentum. Oh! I ground out a bit. Wasn't terrible though. A bit of a 3-point turn there for the BMW. Gonna make it round in one in the Volvo. Yes, look at that. No problemo. Now we're gonna go down a slope and check out their departure angles. So the Audi's is just 17 degrees. So it might scrape its bottom as it heads down and off the end of this slope. The BMW's is 23 degrees, and this time the Volvo has the best statistic. It's got 26 degrees departure angle. Let's see what happens. Come on. I really can't see what's happening. Just gonna go for it. Hopefully I won't ground out again. No. Well, that's fine. Should be easy down here. No problem at all. Okay. Final obstacle then, breakover. So the Audi has a breakover angle of 17 degrees, BMW's is 19 degrees, and this Volvo is 21 degrees. You might see the cars getting their wheels up in the air here as they come over the top of that slope. See if they can keep moving. It's all about keeping moving. Whoa, that looked funny, that did. That Audi with its front left wheel in the air. Will the BMW do the same? It kept moving. Better than the Audi actually, so I'm going to try and keep the momentum going. Come on, four-wheel drive system. I know you're not as good as the X-Drive or the Quattro system in the Audi, but it did all right. Stability control, just nibbled at the wheels and sent power where it needed to be. That was all right, apart from it bottoming out over the first obstacle, but let's see what Darren thinks. Darren, it's up to you, mate. What do you think?
For the hill, traction control, this was a smoother one. BMW struggled.
I ground out.
Not as much as the BMW.
Really?
On the ground out, all three ground out, Volvo least, second Audi, third BMW.
Okay.
Exactly the same as the hill over there.
Yep.
Coming up here, again, all wheels were exactly the same height, but the BMW was just struggling on ground clearance again, just getting over the crest. So out of the three, it will be for me, Volvo, Audi, BMW.
Ooh, interesting. So the Volvo pulling it back at the end. So 3 points for the Volvo, 2 for the Audi, and 1 for the BMW. So then overall, that means that the Audi won with 14 points. The BMW was second with 12 points, and the Volvo came last with 11 points. How do you think these cars performed off-road overall?
Pretty good. Compared to the off-road world, the tractions was good, ground clearance acceptable. If I wanted to go anywhere, castle grounds, anywhere like that, I'd quite happy to take any of these three.
Okay, so they're actually decent off-roaders, even though people hardly ever use them off-road. Thanks for watching.